Red Bull driver Max Verstappen won the final edition of the Malaysian Grand Prix on Sunday, as Mercedes's Lewis Hamilton finished second to extend his championship lead over Sebastian Vettel to 34 points. Verstappen, 20, starting from second after Kimi Räikkönen's Ferrari failed to make the grid, overtook Policetter Hamilton on lap 4, before clinching the second victory of his career and first this season. Verstappen's Red Bull teammate Daniel Ricciardo was third ahead of Vettel, who weaved through the field to finish fourth, after starting from the back of the grid following engine problems. The results mean Hamilton enjoys a big championship lead over Vettel with 5 races left in the season, starting next week in Japan. Here, we take a look at 5 talking points from Sepang. Alonso feuds with idiot Magnussen. A furious Fernando Alonso labeled Kevin Magnussen an idiot and claimed the rest of the drivers agreed with him after they clashed on lap 33. Alonso shouted on team radio Hülkenberg was right, a reference to the Renault driver calling the Dane an arsehole after Magnussen forced him off the track at the Hungarian Grand Prix in July. Magnussen told the German to suck my balls in response. After the race, Alonso wasn't finished. For his driving, we more or less agree with the other drivers. It's 19-1, he told reporters. Paris' sixth and hardest race. Sergio Perez was struck down with a sickness bug in Malaysia, but somehow managed the almost superhuman effort of finishing sixth for Force India at the most physically demanding Grand Prix on the calendar. Perez felt so bad he thought might have to miss the race, and thanked doctors for getting him through despite the heat and humidity. It was probably the hardest race of my career, he said. Despondent Bottas to look in the mirror, while Lewis Hamilton was extending his championship lead at Sepang. Teammate Valtteri Bottas admitted he was searching for answers after finishing in 5th behind Vettel, who has started from stone last. Being honest, it may be the most difficult time of my career so far, in terms of how it feels every time I go in the car, said Bottas. If I keep doing races like this for long, that is not going to be a good thing for anyone. Like I said, many question marks. I need to have a good look in the mirror again. Is super cool Max. The new Seb Red Bull chief Christian Horner hailed victorious Max Verstappen and compared him to 4-time world champion Sebastian Vettel. The result ended a tough run for Verstappen, without a podium since China in April. Max is a very different character to Sebastian, but what you see in standout drivers, you see similarities, Horner said. Where Sebastian was very strong under big pressure moments, Max has that ability too. He was so cool today leading the Grand Prix. He was the coolest guy out there. An ill wind surprises Palmer. Julian Palmer's blamed a gust of wind in Malaysia for wrecking his chance of a top 10 finish for the second successive race. The British driver, who was being replaced by Carlos Sainz at Renault next season, was 12th in closing on Hülkenberg before he went off and allowed Alonso to pass him. We saw there was a big tailwind, which is affecting you in the toe, and you're in the gust. I turned in pretty much the same as the other laps, and suddenly I had no rear. Then just one lap, it was very different to the other laps. It really caught me by surprise.